As NSSF gives employers a 30-day ultimatum to register employees to the NSSF fund. Good evening. Welcome aboard to Business Today. I'm Joram with Winnie Wins and Nakauchi on sign language. But first, a look at our top stories.
In Business Today, NSSF sets 30 days ultimatum for non-compliant employers. 5 years target set to over 50,000 employers. UPPC management has been indicated for appointment breach and firing board members. Honorable Millie Babaranda attributes decision to counsel from police. EU UBD Tech Regional Agriculture Financing Project to Yumbe as poor road infrastructure shortens development initiatives.
All right, now let's kick it off with the investigations into the mismanagement of the Uganda Printing and Public Corporation continue. The Minister for Presidency, Honorable Millie Babalanda, has apologized for making herself the board and firing the entire board, for which she says she was guided by the police. Now, members of parliament, on the other hand, have called this an illegality. Samla Hanifa has more.
Last week, the Committee of Kosasi ordered officials from the Uganda Printing and Public Corporation to come back with their line minister to explain the criteria that was used to appoint the acting MD, as well as tell the committee why the entire board was fired. Today, Minister Babalanda has informed them that she did what she did because she was guided by the police.
So you said you asked police to investigate. Police is still investigating, but before you get a report, you allowed for the full payment.
According to the committee chairperson, Jules Senyonyi insisted that as much as the law allows her to fire the board, she was meant to appoint another board, but instead she chose to make herself the board.
The minister, she fired the entire board. Well, the law provides she can terminate, she can remove board members, but then she's meant to appoint others. Now she appointed herself as the board chairman, in fact, as the entire board. You know, so she was signing documents as board chairman. Under what law? There's no law that empowers her to do that, okay? Then she hires a managing director. The law said the board is not supposed to hire a managing director. So she has been operating illegally, which is very problematic. Yes, she has apologized, but you see, an apology, if it has caused financial loss and all of that, it does not suffice. We can't just keep apologizing and it's okay. No, it is not okay. And there are other issues.
The committee also discovered that billions of shillings had been procured to buy equipment for the company, but the minister clearly denied knowledge of signing off to any procurement in the ministry. This left the committee dissatisfied with Minister Babalanda's report.
Billions of shillings to buy machines, 2 billion, 5.6 billion, which she says she wasn't even aware of, and yet they awarded the contract. The only challenge is that the money was not adequate. Otherwise, if it is available tomorrow, they will pay out. And she's not aware. She says, I don't know many of these things. I told her, but you see, you're the minister in charge. Read and get a good understanding of these issues. You can't give us an excuse. I don't know. Yet you're the supervising person.
The legislators have also pointed to the fact that the minister did not follow the law when she appointed the new board members. For instance, one of the members she appointed was already laid off from Uganda Investment Authority over corruption issues.
You see, the law does not talk about cabinet or whatever. The law says the minister is meant to appoint a board. And so we have told her, please stop acting illegally as the board and as the board chairman. Appoint a new board. Okay? And we have given her 2 weeks to be able to do that quickly. Of course, that doesn't wash away what has happened in the past. No, we are going to inquire into all of that and hold her accountable, and whoever else that we must hold accountable.
Equally, from the minister's own submission, one of the names she presented as a member of among the 8 members is a person who was interdicted and her contract terminated from Uganda Investment Authority on allegations of corruption, abuse of office, nepotism, among others. And we are seeing the same name being introduced here. We are trying to cure an illegality.
The committee has given Uganda Printing Public Corporation up to tomorrow to present all the necessary documents regarding the contracts and the vouchers carried out in the financial year 2022. Samlanifa, SMART24 TV, Business Today.
And now, Yumbe District is transforming agribusiness as the Uganda Development Bank's initiative to boost agribusiness in the district may remain in limbo due to poor road infrastructure. While UDB and its development partners launched a digital platform dubbed AgriConnect to enable small-scale farmers access loans, the initiative could be undermined by lack of favorable road infrastructure. Pedson Mubere was in Yumbe and gathered the details.
Yumbe district lies over 700 kilometers away from Uganda's capital, Kampala, and it doesn't boast of any tarmac road other than Maram. The privatization minister, Honorable Evelyn Anite, who also doubles as a native of the area, asserts that the locals are fed up with the situation since they are unable to transport their agricultural produce to large markets during the rainy seasons.
If during the rain, the roads are not okay, it's expensive for us. In code of transport is too expensive for us.
This road from Koboko all the way to Yumbe to Moyo, the Minister for Works, that's why you should come in big numbers to Arua, because the Minister for Works is coming to tell us exactly when the road is going to start to be constructed.
The Uganda Development Bank, in partnership with the European Union and other development partners, launched a digital platform dubbed AgriConnect to enable smallholder farmers access loans and enhance their agricultural production. The chairperson LOC5 of Yumbe District, Abdul Mutalib Asiku, lauds the Uganda Development Bank initiative but decries of the poor roads which are likely to derail movement of produce, especially during the rainy season.
Regarding the condition of our roads, indeed, they are so worrying, and we have always raised the concern to Minister of Works, to Uganda National Roads Authority regarding the conditions of our roads. We have the trunk roads that are maintained by Uganda National Roads Authority, and we've always appealed to them to improve the conditions of these roads. Their concern has been inadequacy of resources.
Speaking at the launch, the Uganda Development Bank Managing Director Patricia Ojangule noted that the digital platform shall enable individuals access savings and short-term loans to boost business.
To kind of identify where we think we may need value and we have a need. And at that point, I insisted that if there is one thing that I would want to see, it was how can we do lending differently, especially in the digital era.
Now the lands and the soils of Aringa and the country is very fertile. But here, the population is big. We're talking about over 7,000 people, 700,000 people. So 700,000 people who are very energetic, if they actually continue to get this money and they put it to the right use, the way UDB has enabled them to go into the village saving groups and through their groups be able to access credit as low as 50,000 and at a zero interest rate, an interest rate of 1.5%, which is very negligible. It's a very commendable work that UDB is doing on behalf of government.
Basing on the information from the Uganda Development Bank, the pilot project targets 1,000 smallholder farmers who will be able to access digital loans in order to boost their household incomes.
According to information from the Uganda Development Bank, over 18,000 smallholder farmers in Yumbe district are going to benefit from these digital loans. However, according to the local leaders, all these programs may remain hanging because of lack of supportive infrastructures like roads and electricity. They say that their roads cannot support the transportation of their agricultural products from bigger markets because when it comes in the rainy season, they are always muddy. I am Pedson Mumbere here in Yumbe district.
Right now, Pedson Mumbere there for SMART24 in Yumbe. Let's talk matters NSSF now. The National Social Security Fund has set its 5 years target to registering over 50,000 employers and 1,200,000 new members from the SME space and the informal sectors voluntarily. All employers, irrespective of the number of workers, have only 30 days now to register and remit contributions to the fund. Rona Nahawe has details.
On 2nd January 2022, the NSSF Amendment Act was assented to by President Yoweri Museveni, transforming into law. Despite provisions on it's been a year and only 3,200 employers have registered with the National Social Security Fund. Today, all non-compliant employers have been given a 30 days ultimatum to legitimize their status with the fund.
Exist when employers exist. So we go to great lengths to make sure that the employer actually survives. Once in a while, you run an employer who has actually deducted money from the employee's check. and they stubbornly not send the money. In that case, you really have to go hard on that employer, because in a sense they stole from the employee, and you don't tolerate that, because you as a young man or a young woman, you're going to, 55 is going to come very soon, and you need that money, and we owe it to you to ensure that we can actually collect that money. So we use the carrot and the stick to help us do that very well.
At the fall of the previous financial year, 15 billion shillings was collected from the new members. This is expected to spiral provided private sector enrollment is amplified as mandatory and voluntary contributions pile.
So as at end of Feb, we've been able to collect from June to Feb 6 billion shillings from newly registered. Of the 6 billion shillings, 56% of that money has come from employers that employ less than 5 people. So you can actually see that there is actually value when these employers come on board. Of course, you can also argue that the salaries are also much lower in the category of those that employ less than 5 people, but if they all consistently pay into the fund every month, the actual value can actually go higher. But maybe also to add that we've also been able to collect 15 billion shillings from newly registered members. So people that were not members of the fund last financial year, within just this financial year so far, have been able to contribute 15 billion.
The umbrella body of SMEs and MSMEs has urged its 700 members to be compliant. A 10% penalty on the outstanding amount is already at play for non-compliance. Still, NSSF has been encouraged to carry out more educational workshops as their initiatives have less penetration.
Allowing many of these micro, small and medium-sized enterprises to also contribute towards the social security of their employees. Therefore, we appreciate the fund for launching this initiative and choosing to work with key stakeholders. For the MSMEs out there, we would like to say that the NSSF Act was amended, and Section 7 and 13A requires all businesses, irrespective of size, to contribute to NSSF for their employees. Therefore, we want to urge you to be compliant. For NSSF, we want to ask you to intensify the education. Let's educate our MSMEs. As MSMEs do not appreciate the value of social security. Every small money matters to them. So they need to appreciate why it's important to comply.
The fund, which currently manages assets worth 17.8 trillion shillings, highest in East Africa, with investments in fixed income, equity and real estate, is to be prominent towards national social security advancement that has been a great challenge to many Ugandans. Ronana Habwe, SMART24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now Uganda's government's efforts to repair and maintain roads has hit a snag after Enago Uganda Company Limited, contracted to repair the Kampala-Jinja Highway, failed to execute its work, leaving the state of the road still wanting. Enago Uganda Company Limited was given over 96 billion shillings to carry out maintenance works, but failed to fulfill its obligations. Bronia Katusime has more.
We are talking about Mukono between Nakawa and
That's what we say. But there were some works done within. That's why I was telling you, we are not looking at this work as part of kilometers.
So
but
this particular place, then I would have Mami Mo's.
Yes.
This particular place that floods every other day. Can you tell me that it was not part of our priorities, this particular point?
Yes, because of the maintenance budget, they couldn't even do one car, but there we have.
So if you did not, if this was not one of the priority areas, which was?
I think they need potholes and other things. And people moved up today.
At
least now we can.
Road maintenance has been a significant challenge for the Ugandan government, with many roads in the country in a dire state. Most roads look irreparable, with potholes and are having poor drainage systems that keep the environment flooded and consequently interfere with businesses. To address this issue, the government has contracted several companies to maintain and repair the roads. However, these efforts have been hampered by various factors, including the failure by some companies to fulfill their obligations. That, coupled with the construction of illegal structures along the road, has undermined the development of road infrastructure in the country.
Here where we are is a Jinja Kampala Highway, one of the most sensitive roads that we have in Uganda, and again also in Kampala. the Enago company that was given the task of doing the works on this road, we can see that it's shoulder work that was done. The bridges, as they constructed them, they have no water outlet. We were there where the water outlet was blocked by Lukman petrol station, and again they are telling us that we have to pay them money to buy off the building. Yet the road was there before the building and the outlet is seen. So at the end of the day, Ugandans are not benefiting from the taxes they are paying.
Enago Uganda Company Limited, contracted to repair the Jinja-Kampala Highway, was given 14 million shillings in the first phase to repair the Nakawa-Seta Road, with an extra 92 billion shillings in the second phase for the redevelopment of the Nakawa-Jinja Road. But it failed to do so, leaving the roads in a deplorable condition. Legislators on the government's assurance committee expressed frustration at its breach of contract, while warning that they would take stern action on any company that fails to do their work.
We invited UNRWA, together with the contractor, to come and give us the status of this road maintenance, because Jinja Road is one of the roads that you can see with your eyes that is really doing badly. Among all the roads, you can look at the Guru Road, you can look at the Entebbe Road, you can look at the Western Road, but the one for Eastern, where we come from, is really in a bad state. And that's why we all put energy.
But again, the company that is constructing, that is Enago, it was outlisted, it was blacklisted by World Bank for doing shoulder work. And again, we're asking UNRWA, how did they come again to re-employ the company that was blacklisted for doing work that is not to the standard?
While new investments improve people's livelihoods, constructing structures near road reserves disrupts the maintenance program and makes it hard for the maintenance crews to access these roads. Government has pledged to severely punish those that fail to adhere to the road maintenance arrangements.
People have started even reclaiming roads. And of all roads, Kampala-Jinja Highway, which is the backbone of our economy, I think everybody should know the importance of this road. Even if the country has gone to dogs, at least items like the Kampala-Jinja Road will be held as esteemed properties that we cannot joke with. To see that a person can come here and construct a road, a building of this magnitude, just in the middle of the road is very absurd. I want now to challenge Madam Kajina to bring down this building immediately.
And we have confirmed today, according to the measurements, the thing has encroached by some meters. And that one we cannot entertain. This is Jinja Road, which brings all the trailers, which delivers things from Kenya. That's the only exit we have. So we cannot entertain. We are going to, our chairperson has decided to invite the physical planning of Joram municipality. I think they will come to the committee.
Government has vowed to address these issues and ensure that the roads are well repaired and maintained. However, it will require the cooperation of all stakeholders, including the public, to ensure that the roads are kept in good condition. Bernia Katsime, SMART24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now away from that, ESCOM has handed over the Nalubale power plant. ESCOM Uganda handed over the Nalubale and Kira hydro power plants to the Ugandan government. ESCOM Uganda's 20-year concessions to manage and operate the facilities has come to an end this month, as the government promised to audit the company to determine if it owed ESCOM any compensation for unrecouped investments. Masi Katusime reports.
And then we shall be doing a full capacity test of this power station.
Last year, the Ugandan government announced it would not renew ESCOM's license when it expired this month and would instead run the plants as part of the plans to reduce power costs to consumers, and part of those plans, according to the government, was to reduce private capital in the sector. The government created the Uganda National Electricity Company Limited, a state-run company to manage the generation, transmission and distribution segments of the electricity sector. ESCOM, under the 20-year concession signed in 2002, ESCOM had been running the two plants located at the source of the River Nile in Jinja, about 90 kilometers east of the capital, Kampala. Both plants have a combined installed generation capacity of 380 megawatts.
In the asset of ESCOM Uganda Limited, we wish therefore to appreciate ESCOM Limited for the warm welcome and thank you for maintaining the complex in a very good condition and we have all witnessed as we walked around. Things are fascinating, the power is there, and no progress. You know, that is tomorrow. What about the one who has kept it for 20 years and giving us the power which has transformed this country? Our industries will not be operating, the hospitals, police stations will not be operating, etc. As you are all aware, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, represented by the Uganda Electric Generation Company Limited, Uganda, and ESCOM, Uganda Limited, signed a concession.
The new company, UEGCL, is structured as a public-private partnership with a state firm as majority shareholder. The State Minister for Minerals, Okasi Opolo, said that Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited has been tasked to generate hydropower over 40,000 megawatts by 2040. President Joram Museveni has repeatedly complained that expensive private capital was responsible for the high electricity tariffs in Uganda, which makes it unaffordable for consumers. Therefore, a 40,000 megawatt will be able to reduce the costs of electricity.
The country has got an ambitious plan of transforming the economy, going into industrialization of the country. The young population wants jobs. The young population is going to value addition. The minerals must go into value addition. Instead of exporting our minerals as cost or us, we are saying they must be added value to. And if we're to meet that ambitious plan,
ESCOM Managing Director Tozama Ganji said that they are handing over much better and more efficient power generation facilities. She also pointed out a number of achievements and challenges while managing the power plant.
Power consumption, units that are on maintenance. These are some of the contributing factors of not achieving the 100% capacity test. At handover, we have agreed with Uganda UEGCL to test all the units, starting with KPS, with an installed capacity of 200, followed by NPS, with installed capacity of 180 megawatts. The capacity for KPS capacity test for KPS was conducted on the 9th of March 2023 in the presence of UEGCL, UETCL, and the Electricity Regulatory Authority. The independent engineer is of the opinion that if the complex continues to be operated and maintained using prudent duty practices, in 20 years of our operation, the company encountered a number of challenges. Though we maintained our grip to deliver on our mandate of operating and maintaining the complex with minimum interruptions to production.
For continuity purposes, Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited has completed its recruitment process for the key staff who will take over the operation of the power plant post the transfer date. Marcia Katsime for SMART24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now Business Today will continue immediately after the break. Stick around, there's more to come.